Alright, I'm back again. And my friend Tierra, James, shared this sickening, disturbing post. This is a 55-year-old man. 55. Not 25, not 35, not 45. 55 years old. 55. I'm 40. What does an 18-year-old offer me at 40 years old? 18 years old. 18 years old. According to her live feed earlier, she stated that she has 4 kids at 18, and she married this dude right here, Huckabook. You can check the link and go to their pages. This is definitely real and it's definitely true. Now, I'm going to go in on this because I'm a father, and this is disgusting. My daughter is 11 years old. It's no way as a father I am going to let basically a baby marry a 55-year-old man. That is disgusting. Now, from what I read and did a little information, I believe she was a ward of the state at one point in her life. Her biological mother did not have custody of her. And let me switch this camera. I just wanted to get this in here because this got me hot. I wasn't going to go live again today, but I'm like, you know what? I'm tired of the foolishness. Look at this. Now, my question is this. If she was a ward of the state or whatever happened with her mom, where is her father at? This is what happens when the father is not home. When he's not involved and engaged in the life of his seed. This is the results. Y'all wonder why R. Kelly got away with it for so many years? Where was they daddies at? For most of the women. Now, we saw the one girl who was grown that lived with R. Kelly. It's plenty of R. Kellys running all over the country, all over the world. Matter of fact, Niagara Falls, let's be 100. I went to Niagara Falls High School. I remember all the dope boys coming up there after school to pick up the girls. Older men messing with high school girls. It's sickness. It's sickening. It's a perversion. This is what a father does. He's the one that'll step in and say, brother, if you don't get away from my daughter, I will break your face in half. I'm hot. I'm sorry. I'm hot. I'm mad. Because I'm tired of our beautiful jewels being raped and pillaged by these savages calling themselves a man. What do a 55-year-old man have in common with an 18-year-old besides his penis? And every hole on her body he can use to abuse. I watched her video where she defended him, looking like a cult member. He's sitting right beside her in the car while she got her head wrapped, going all off, cussing everybody out. And I'm looking at the girl, and I said she's angry and mad because she don't got no daddy. She don't have a father to give her direction, to tell her, baby, that ain't a safe decision to make. Let me give you the game. I'm teaching my daughters and my son the game now. No, baby girls, some dudes want to talk you out your panties. Some girls gonna want to talk you out your panties. Some family members gonna want to talk you out your panties. Teachers, friends, coaches, pastors, preachers, it doesn't matter. I'm hot, man. I'm tired of this foolishness. And our children is perishing because what? They not protected. The mama can only do so much, my guys. I'm talking to my men now. We gotta protect our seed by any means necessary. Because if we don't, 55-year-old dudes is waiting to tear them apart. You think in 20 years she gonna be happy with a 75-year-old man? And she 38 in the prime of her life? Huh? Do the math, my people. Where's the equity in that for her? She better get a good insurance policy on him because he look like he got high blood pressure and some diabetes issues to boot. This is foolishness. Matter of fact, let me switch this. Let me turn it around. There she is. There they are. Right there. She's a baby. She is a baby. And from what I read, the mother had interactions with the man. So he just ran through the mama and just, really, he didn't even want the mama. He was just waiting on her to be legally ripe enough so he could get his little nasty fat hands on her. That's sick, bruh. I don't care how much love you got for her, bro. I ain't buying it, bro. I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm 40 years old, and I don't look at no 22-year-old, no 24-year-old, no 23-year-old as compatible for me. What, to have my babies? What else does she bring to the table? What? Besides WAP? What? I'm tired of this foolishness. This is crazy. Then you got people all up in there celebrating this madness. So pedophiles get a pass these days as long as she's 18. Bruh, she can't buy a damn beer. She's not grown. She's old enough to make legal transactions to a point. Yeah, he was grooming her from the jump, man. Man, that's what the predators do. They set you up. They got to get close to you to get access to you so they can violate you. That's what they do. They gain your friendship. They gain your loyalty. They gain your trust. I was in a cult church. The pastor said to me when I first got there, I didn't understand what he said at first in the beginning. He said, if you mesmerize their minds, you can win their hearts. He told me this dealing with the children, working with the teens and the youth. And I didn't understand that. I said, man, I'm just 100 authentic. I don't got to play games and gimmicks with people and sell them a dream and none of that. I just keep it 100 and people realize was somebody genuine or not. But by the end of those 4 years returning from Iraq, because I didn't have nobody brainwashing me no more like he's doing her, he said it again, and it dawned on me after I had the church as my legal recipient of my benefits in the military. If I would have died, they would have got $250,000 if I would have died. That's what happens to a young influenceable mind that's trying to find their way, and they don't got no protection out here. You understand what I'm saying? My protection came from the Holy Spirit in Iraq. So when I came home, I'd already been sealed. And when I started asking questions, what's this, what's that, what's this, what's that, I had to go. If she start questioning this joker and holding him to some type of standard, man, he got this little girl under his hand. Look at this dude. He looked like her grandfather. He was born in 1966. 1966. Matter of fact, somebody had his criminal history. I can't find it. I'm not going to look for it. But the dude got a criminal history. He been good now for about a good decade. He been straight. You know what I'm saying? He ain't been in no criminal trouble. Not that it's been reported. You see? But period. I don't care about none of that, man. This is sick. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is just disgusting. It's no way you can tell me that this is balanced. It's not. Now, I'm not against younger or older dating, but dude, do it within proportion, man. Come on. Look at this. 18. But from what she said out of her own mouth, she had been getting her boots smoked for years. According to what she said, she lived a fast life as a younger woman. So I can understand her not having stability and being on survival mode. She needs a covering. That's what a father does. He provides provision, protection. You understand? That's what he does. That's our assignment. When we get a woman pregnant, whether we live with her, date her, marry her, wife her, whatever we do, that seed is still our responsibility to protect. I didn't never once hear her mention her daddy. If the mama even know who the daddy is. Not once did she mention my uncle, my grandpa. I don't want. Right. That had your mama. That's just, what are you, I mean, come on, man. Come on, man. So, this is madness, y'all. This is madness. 18 years old. 18. Look, I got a daughter that just turned 11. I'm terrified when she turned 18. Because I don't know how I'm going to respond if a joker like this show up. I'm going to jail. I'm going to prison. I'm telling you, I'm going to prison because I'm not going for this sick, pedophilic attitude. Because see, let me tell y'all something. When my daddy met my mama, my daddy was 39. But because he was well kept, he looked 29. And he lied to her and told her he was 29 and she was 19. He gave birth to me and my brother in his 40s. That's when he had his first 2 kids, only kids. Well, that I know about. He might have some floating. It's possible. Me too. I might have something to knock on the door. Remember, you was in Virginia. You was in it could happen, but it wasn't nothing I did just to do on purpose. But get what I'm saying, man. This. Now, I know back in the days, you know, they did that. They had where the older men went with the younger women. And I can understand that in the mind of men, the younger the better because she's going to have more eggs. That means I can have more babies with her. I understand that aspect. But this dude here, he ain't worried about having no babies with her. He's 55. I don't want, 55 is granddad status. Some folk great granddad and grandma status, depending on how fast you had your babies. But this right here is just senseless. I'm sorry. And if she had a father, if she had a male influence in her life of anything other than him, they would tell her, look, honey, get your education, take care of you, yourself, and them babies, and just do you. Don't worry about that dude. But I'm sure he comes with lots of gifts and trinkets. He gives her security. Because women want security. And I'm sure her being awarded the state like I was, even though I had a beautiful foster mom, Diane Miles, I love you. But from what she said, what I took from what she said and seeing her anger and animosity was, she's angry. And he probably, man, right, man, Chrissy, I ain't even consider if he got kids. Because, okay, 55 minus 18, 35, 37. So that means he could have a 37-year-old right now because he could have had them at 18. He was better off hooking her up with one of his kids or grandkids. But he took her for himself. What in the mind of a 55-year-old man looks at an 18-year-old and desire her for a wife? Now, you don't go blind. You know, I tell folks, just because I got married didn't mean my eyes fell out and I went blind and people stopped being beautiful or attractive or sexy or any of those things. It's just I have self-control. I don't have to run after that. You understand what I'm saying? This dude here, I mean, just look at this dude. Who, you ought to know he retarded. Who wears a long sleeve button up with another one under it? Who does that? With some 1988 Principal loafers on. Who does that? Who? I ain't never once in my life said, let me put a button up over my button up. Unless it's a suit coat, you know what I'm saying? Some type of other jacket. Not a whole nother shirt as one ensemble. That should tell you right now the Joker is wired backwards. So that's why he would look at an 18-year-old and say, and her 4 kids, and say, I'm going to take them all in. I'm going to take them all in. So you telling me, ladies, do you want a man that old ahead of you? Okay. Do you want a guy that is 37 years older than you right now? Added to your age. Is that something you find desirable? Or what about if you old enough, do you want a young man that young being with you? Okay, just say average people watching you 35 and up. All right, just say as an average. Do you want a 20-year-old dude? Would you want to be yoked to somebody that young where they cannot, literally, they don't have the tools. She ain't got enough. Yeah, she might have been out and she done had sex. But I guarantee you that baby girl ain't had no real love. And he ain't giving her love. That's perversion. She just married a pervert. And what you think he gonna do? If them kids ain't his, what you think finna happen? She got 1, 2, 3 girls and a boy. What you think about to happen? What do you think is about to go down? When those babies start to get bigger. When those babies start to develop and hit puberty and start to grow and their body starts to shape. What you think he gonna be looking at? This is nothing more than Color Purple in real time. Mister. That's Mister. And she's so young and impressionable and lost, she don't know no better. She hollering about she happy, and we this and we got cars and I got money, I'm finna go be an RN. Wrong principles. Wrong value system. I told you before, we've got it backwards. We go after wealth, education, careers, mobility, and social acceptance. When our real value should be spiritual, health, home, family, then your career, the money, the friendship outside the home. It's all twisted. And so we wonder why our men grow up dysfunctional. Yes, it happens more than, man, look, I've seen it everywhere I've gone. Where a dude will get with the mama, but his whole aim is the kids. Be it a boy or a girl. The mama, look, I love you, my women. I ain't saying y'all dumb. I'm not saying y'all stupid. What I'm saying is, Sometimes y'all don't have the foresight to see what's coming. That's what a man is for. A real man going to tell you, don't F with them. Stay away from over there. Stay away from around these people, because it's not going to be good for you in the end. You're going to be on the wrong side of things. This is why a man is important. I don't care what they say. A man defends territory. He spots predators. But she don't have nobody to protect her or cover her. So this is why an 18-year-old can be swept up by a 55-year-old pervert. But we ain't supposed to say nothing. Let them live their best life. Ma'am, he's 10 years from being on Social Security, ma'am. You haven't even probably worked long enough to even earn 5 quarters. 5 units to pay into the Social Security system. But he's nearing retirement age. But he take an 18-year-old. It's just dysfunction, man. And I'm tired of this crap. Oh man, I'm at a loss for words with this. I look at this dude and I thought it was somebody's granddaddy. I didn't even see the post when she said this story is sick, Tierra. I just was scrolling and I was like, oh, okay, that's her granddad. Then I went back and started, reading is fundamental. So I went to reading. And I said, oh, are you serious? Are you serious? So this is what it's come to. Our 18-year-olds got to settle for 55-year-olds because she don't got no daddy. And her mama, from what she said, wasn't worth 2 pennies together. Smashed. So really, she's out here on the wing and the prayer. And I guess her prayer was this fat, obtuse, overweight, black neck. Just horrible. Look at him. Look at that. Look at that mass of just, I don't even know what to say. Come on. All I could just do is throw my hands up. This is what we come to now. A baby. She's a baby. You take 5 years off her life, what? She's 13. He'll just be 50. So just look at it like that. A 50-year-old was prepping a teenager to be his bride soon as she became of legal age. Because she said since she was 16, she was already on her own. So she been out here struggling for these 2 years on survival. Well, he probably been sugar daddying her up on the low. Because I guarantee you, he ain't just decided to marry her. He probably was messing with her way, way back. Way back. Because there's no way no 18-year-old in a right, reasonable mind will look at a 55-year-old blob and say, that's my hubby. Do you think she came up with that on her own? Do you think when I was 18, a 55-year-old woman was not in my parameter? No way. No way. Some parents are setting this up. I know girls whose mother and father set her up with her mother's ex-boyfriend to help her pay for her college right here in this city. So your degree is worth your virtuosity. It's worth your essence. Because listen, ladies, every time you sleep with a man, he departs himself in you. That's why you only supposed to be with one man and a virgin when you get married, because you was never supposed to be introduced to no one else but your husband. Understand that. Now, biblically, a man had more than one wife. I'm not saying a man should do that. I don't think it's wise to have more than one wife. But if a man did decide to do so, he's supposed to provide her with food, clothing, housing. He's supposed to take care of her. But this here is sick. Now, mothers. Now, I love my mama. But this went down with my baby brother, Jonathan. Now, Jonathan looks like me, but brighter, taller, about 6'1", 6'2", 200-something pounds, solid rock. He pull any woman he wants. That's what he does. He uses women. That's all he does now. I love him, but that's what he do. He grew up with my mom and her husband. I started talking to him when I was about 11, 10. He was still in Florida in Daytona. And my mom's husband grew up in let me tell you about this. Like you said, this goes far, it's bigger than we know. Let me tell you about his family history. He grew up in a house. Listen to this. This was his upbringing. My mom's husband. He grew up in a house where his daddy and granddaddy both slept with his mama. I love you too, cuz. They slept with his mom. The uncles used to rape his mama. And then when his sister got bigger, they all took their turns on her. That's how she grew up. So him growing up in that type of trauma was normal. It was normal for incest to go on. So, fast forward, meets my mom, single mom, no protection, no foresight, none of the 4 P's that a man breed. Provision, protection, productivity in the form of having children, and what else? Production, productivity, and I don't remember the other P. So, she married him. My brother got molested for years. And she walked in. See, I got all the facts from my brother when it because you had them heart to hearts when a person drinking something and then you sitting on the hood of the Jeep. You had them heart to hearts. And he told me how my mama walked in the room and seen what was happening to him and asked him, Jonathan, what are you doing? This is the mindset of many mothers out here. It's never the man's fault. It's the child. To the fact, let me bring this thing home. Me and my brother lived on Michigan Avenue, 1144 Michigan Avenue. Never forget the address as long as I live. I got molested by a woman. Me and him both. We got molested. And I had to be like 6, 7, under 8. Because all I remembered when it came back to me in my 30s after I'm married to my wife, and I don't like red lipstick, and I don't know why, but it triggered me in my subconscious mind. It got under my skin. When I first met her, I said, baby, don't wear that color. And listen. So anyways, my dad, was a family friend that he known for years, was friends with her after this. Listen. Lady molested me and my bro. My older brother Eddie, real talk. He probably don't even remember. A lot of stuff we went through as kids, he don't remember none of it. To protect himself. Your mind does that. It protects you. It shuts off the trauma so you can not lose your mind. So anyways, lady molests us. All I remember is the Jerry curl smell. She was light skinned and the red lips. Right? So she goes back and tell my daddy that we were the ones that came on to her. We got beat for that. We got whooped for that. For being what was called mannish. That's what he told us. You're being mannish. You're trying to be a man and you're not. We got beat for that. But let me tell you what happened to that lady. I'm not going to say her name because I don't got no beef with her. She was drunk. She did what she did. I'm not making excuses for her because it's still wrong. Violation is violation. Whether you're intoxicated or you're sober. You're still hurting the victim that you're perpetrating this madness on. She got hit by a train and lost her leg about a few weeks later. I don't know if she's still alive or not. But yeah. So it does happen. And more than likely, the child is the one that carries all the weight of it. They carry the abuse. They carry the trauma. They carry the residual effects after that, where they can't trust people, where they're not vulnerable, where they don't know how to open up, where they're always on guard, where they don't like to be around a bunch of people because they've been violated and they've been handled the wrong way by people that was supposed to be there to protect them. But when you have a parent that introduces and incubates the madness in your life, what do you do when you're a child or a teenager and you're unable to do anything? So let's get back to my bro. So he grew up watching my mama endure abuse from this man, getting cheated on, struggling, him getting multiple DUIs because he drank a lot. And I asked him when they got married, 20 years after the fact, they've been together for 20 years on and off. When they got married, I asked him, I said, man, how do you handle everything you've been through knowing that, he's been with my mama all this time? Like, how do you walk through that? How do you navigate that, bro? He said, I don't. I just smoke and drink the pain away. Because every time I come to see mama, he's there. So it's not like I ever get to heal. It's not like I ever get closure. It's not like I ever get to rebound. Because every time I turn around, I'm reminded of what happened to me when I was a boy. You see, this is the damage that is done when our children is unprotected, when they're not covered. They'll go to anybody for security and a place of safety, even if they got to get violated to be there. They're willing to risk that just for a moment, a night of peace, even though they're living with a predator. So in my mother's husband's family, that generational curse went on to the other nieces and nephews, and other cousins in my family were violated the same way by these men. And the women be knowing and don't say one word. Why? Because they want the money. They pimping their own kids. How much is your child worth to you? Is your baby up for sale? Because somebody willing to pay for him. Is your daughter for profit for you? You gonna sell your son next? Are they available for use by the perverts and pedophiles out here? See, that's what the whole ABC gay agenda is about. What's coming after this? We already got men in dresses. What's coming next? Men gonna be marrying children. Men gonna be marrying dogs. That's the foresight that a men bring. Now, when it happens, don't say Dwight Caldwell didn't tell you. That's what that's what men do. We can tell you what's going to happen before it happens because we see it. How can we continue to madness and expect our children to be any better off if we ain't doing nothing to secure them now? To hell with being with somebody. It's better to be by yourself, protect your seed, and let them have a chance. But at 18, you know he was messing with it when she was 15, 16. She already had kids. To him, she already got experience. Oh, she everything I need. And she young. And she already got 4 kids. I don't need her for no kids. She got her own. I'm just going to use her for the while. And I can control her mind because she's young and impressionable. I can run game on her. Even now. Some of y'all 30, 40 plus still getting game ran on you by dudes. Why? Because more than likely, you listening to females. Your mama, your auntie, your cousins, your homegirls. You better get you some partners in your life that ain't trying to knock you off. Find you a man that ain't trying to sleep with you, that he can give you the game. Heck, inbox me. I'll talk to you. I ain't got nothing to lose. I don't live around none of y'all. But I'll chop it up with you and let you know. Okay, explain it to me. Run it down. All right. And I'm going to say, okay, based off what you're telling me, if I'm a man, based off my point of view, da-da-da-da-da. We're talking about this 55-year-old pervert marrying an 18-year-old. That's what I'm talking about. And I'm asking one simple question. Where is her daddy? Ain't no daddy going for it. Look, I'm telling y'all this now. If she had a daddy in her life on any level that loved her and cared about her, he would not have let this happen. I'm telling y'all that right now. I'm telling you right now. My mama didn't have a daddy when she met my daddy. That's why she was prime pickers for him. 19 years old, what she have? 2 daughters. He didn't want my mama. He was gunning for my sisters. My daddy is a pedophile. Yeah. I believe in exposing and rooting out these curses. And I understand the culture back in the days and the years ago that older men went after younger women because the younger they are, the more eggs they have, the more they can produce so the man can have his seed and be fruitful, multiply, replenish the earth. That's what it's supposed to be about. Not about you getting with an 18-year-old so you can fulfill your twisted, nasty desires on her. Because what he's doing to her is if he dies one day, how you think her mindset gonna be? Her mind is already fragmented just from her upbringing. What that baby needs is love and support and real protection. She don't need to be having no more sex at this point. You got 4 kids at 18, baby, let it go. You need some stability, some support, some love, some guidance. Because even when she opened her mouth in the car when she did her video, she's cussing, going crazy, turned all up, and I'm looking at her, and I'm like, I'm looking. The whole time I'm thinking, where's her daddy? Where's her daddy? This is a girl that don't got no male influence in her life besides this fat, nasty blob. She's totally uncovered, out here naked. Out here naked. Yeah. Okay, she was adopted by a white family, her mom. Yeah, okay, so she wasn't protected. That's what, but still, where's her daddy? I don't care if she got adopted out. A father has rights. He can go to the state, go to classes, do what he has to do and get his kids. Where's her daddy? He don't get negated from this. I don't care if he... Like I said, but do the mama know? Did she tell him? Did he even know he got a daughter? We don't know all the details, but I'm saying at this point, 4 kids at 18, ain't no daddy there. It's not, for more than likely. But you can't stop your child from doing what they do. Like my daughters, they can run off and do whatever when they turn a teenager. I can't stop them. But it's my job to be there to protect them and guide them as much as I can, but I can't override their free will. But this child here looked like she ain't never had a chance to choose. It looked like she went from one set of abuse to another with this dude and just had kids in between. Because every other man that came into her life told her lies and got her pregnant and walked off and left her. Where's her father? This is why we need fathers actively involved with their kids. I don't care if you never be with them again, but work with them to be in them kids' life. Because he gonna be the one to mentor a child, his son, the girls. Hey, baby girl, I know you getting older. It's like I tell my 11-year-old now, I know you see dudes at school that's cute. I know you find boys at school that's attractive. That's all a part of life. You see what I'm saying? It don't matter if he's not in the picture. He need to get in there, Tierra. That's what I'm asking. That's what I'm saying. Period. I don't care what none of y'all tell me. Because my daddy protected me. Yeah, he abused us and put us through hell. But at the end of the day, nobody else better not have touched us. Nobody else better not have messed with us. Nobody else better not have did nothing to us. It doesn't matter what he did. But he would protect his children. He would die for us, I believe. And that's what any father would do. But when you don't have that there, this is what happens. You're stuck with a 55-year-old messing with an 18-year-old. And I don't care how you try to cut the pie. She ain't 21. She can't even buy a beer. Nope. So I don't care. I'm not rocking with it. I'm sorry. That's like I said, that's like me messing with somebody that just turned 18 and I'm 40. That's just, I don't, what, like I said, what is she bringing to the table besides her sexual value? What? Oh, she's hollering about they got 4 cars together. No, ma'am, he has 4 cars. He might have put some in your name, but because he's 55 years old. Ma'am, you're just not able to establish credit. Yeah, see what I'm saying? He been paying credit since when? He started going to prison in 84. So, that should tell you. Before she was even thought of. He was already committing felonies, going to the pen. And somehow he connected to the mama. Because that video is gone, the one the mama did. I can't find it. It's gone. I guess she took it down. So he just basically befriended the mama because she don't got no insight. Foresight, rather. She might have insight to see in, but she can't see out what's coming. So he got cool with her, buttered her up, probably threw her a few hundred here and there, put something on this. I'll help you with the, you know what I'm saying? I'll cover the rent, whatnot. Bought her off, gained her trust, knocked her off too, I'm sure. And then, this is who I've been waiting for right here. I was just using your mama to get in the dough. I was just using your mama to gain access. Why you think R. Kelly was so successful? Some of these mamas and daddies knew what was happening to their kids, but they was after the bag. They wanted the money. They wanted the profit off their kids. And this happens, I told you, all over. Where men come in and they gain resident so they can now contaminate everybody in the house. And it ain't just black men, it's white dudes doing it. Well, what about Hugh Hefner? Let's talk about that pervert. Let's talk about Hugh Hefner, who we celebrate as an American icon. Playboy that. But we celebrate this dude as if he didn't have Brooke Shields posing for Playboy at 10 years old. Because her mama allowed it to happen. See? So it ain't just us, the so-called black folk. It's all hues and colors where this sickness is happening. But I'm just looking at this like, come on, man. We got to be better than this. 55-year-old man counting down the Social Security, marries 18-year-old, haven't even barely got her, if she have a high school diploma, the ink on it is still wet. And here is this Geritol, geriatric patients, scooping up, who basically, the dude just married his caregiver. She going to school to be an RN, that's what she said, and she don't have to pay for school. That's what she said, I'm going to be an RN. So he just married his future nurse. So he won't even need hospice care when it's time for him to die. She already there. She can just stay at the house and get checks and get caregiver money for him. I'm sure they got it set up like that maybe. So yeah, and all she needs is to get a good insurance policy on him because he ain't got much longer. Okay, 25 more years maybe. That'll put him at 80. And she'll be what, 25, 35, 43? Okay, ladies, some of y'all is in y'all 40s. What you got in common with a 75-year-old, 80-year-old man? Besides his assets and his money and the material things that he might have built over the years. What do you gain? It sure enough can't be fun times and trips and traveling and going and doing things physically active together. Well, what? What's the trade-off? She's giving up her youth for the money. She's trading off her essence for the home, the cars. I told y'all before, it's the wrong value system. She's got it twisted. She thinks having cars, having money is success. No, it's not. Because you got people that's criminals that do all that. Don't mean they were successful. Don't mean they was blessed. None of that. That just means you got some stuff. That's it. That's it. But this here, I'm sorry. And she went in on the women and cussed them all out and told them, y'all just jealous because I got somebody and I changed and I did this. I'm like, but ma'am, I mean, yeah, you went from sleeping with other dudes and having babies to marrying a dude that's way outside of age range. I don't care how you try to add it up. Yeah, she's 18. She can choose and decide for herself. It's her decision at the end of the day. I'm just saying, ain't no way he ain't touch her or tamper with her before now. I don't believe it. You can't make me believe it. Not if they spent any amount of time alone together and she's 18, so you know. And if she was on her own 16, where you think he was at? While she was underage. What do you think he was doing? Having his way with her. And all he did was say, as soon as your birthday come, I'm locking you in and I'm going to own you. And I'm going to control your mind and your body until your children get big enough. And then I'm going to have my way with them too. Because that's how predators do. That's how they act. That's how they roll. That's their whole motive. Is to get in and ingrain themselves within your home. And once they're inside, now they got total control. Especially if you're working. And if you're working 8, 10, 12-hour days and your kids is there, guess what? It's fair game for that predator. They don't have no remorse. I watched a video where a dude literally explained why he didn't even talk to females that had the kid's father or any male influences around. Because he said if a man was around, they could sniff me out. They could sense I ain't right. They could sense I'm not genuine. They could pick up on certain things I would do and say where it wouldn't look right. He said, but once I get the woman and I gain her trust and I gain her friendship and I gain her loyalty, her kids is wide open for the taking. So I act like I love her. I act like I care about her. I do all the things I'm supposed to do just so I can get in the door. And now her kids is mine. And then I brainwash. I'm telling you, this dude had it like a science. I couldn't believe it. Oh my gosh. I saw it on a YouTube channel I watch, right? But anyways, so he breaks this thing down like a science. And I'm sitting here like, oh my goodness, man. I didn't know, dude. Like, I know people as predators, but I don't sit and dwell on like, what does the pedophile think about? What does the predator think about? But when he actually expressed his mindset and his thought process, I said, these dudes literally stalk out and hunt single mothers without male influence. That's why I said it's good to have you a couple dudes in your pocket that's just your friend, your real brother. They ain't trying to sleep with you. They ain't trying to do none of that stuff when it comes to below the belt. It's all above the belt. Matter of fact, it's all above the neckline. Find you some dudes like that. They gonna hit you in the head here. Not head the other way, down there. I'm telling y'all, this is real. And there's people in our family like that. Some of y'all siblings is like that. It's the truth. Because we all remember in high school. But then some of them brothers wasn't grown yet either. They was just out there in the streets like that. But I remember. It was lots of older dudes posted up outside the high school like little baby R. Kelly's waiting on the girls to come out. And I used to get salty. Because I'm like, man, how is that fair? How they get to take our girls? Why they don't get somebody their age? Why you don't go get you a 55-year-old woman, bruh? not a girl. She's still a girl. She's not even, she's a woman in the sense of her anatomy. But in her mind, she's still a baby. She's a girl. And that's what he wanted. Because he knows she ain't headstrong all the way yet. He can still, like he was telling the thing, and she'll say it. That's all it is. He got her trained. He brought her up. And now, what is normal to him has become normal for her now. Because she's defending it. And I understand that's her husband. And I'm sure she probably do love him because he's probably the only sense of stability in her life. And look at that. Look at it. I'm sorry. There's no way I could look at any one of my daughters next to a dude like this and be like, yeah, that's God's will. The Most High did that. He sent this 55-year-old blob to my 18-year-old daughter. No, I'm sorry. I'm not buying it. And I'm praying for her. And them babies. Because I don't know. And then again, I could be totally wrong or fall right on my face and they may work out and make it forever. It's possible. But I'm just looking at it from 55, 18, nah, that's perversion. I'm sorry. That's like if a 55-year-old woman was messing with my son, he's only 7 now, but if he was 18, that's like a 55-year-old woman trying to marry my son. I would say, son, no. She don't have nothing to give you. You don't have nothing to give her. No, you're not ready yet. Go out and live first. Find out what you want to be. Find out what you want to do first. Most of us don't even know what we want to do or be till after 25 to be real about it. We ain't even finding we still discovering who we are at that age. But most of the time we got kids that been in relationships that damage us so bad that we already messed up by that age. And that's by design. The enemy always comes in when you're younger to try to mess you up. So by the time you're old, you're so damaged and dysfunctional that you can't produce anything of worth or value. So now we've got to run after the cars and the clothes and the houses because we got to feel like we're valuable. So we go buy valuables to feel valuable. But if you don't have the internal value in you, because had somebody told that girl at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, baby, you are beautiful. You are worth something. You are a treasure. Your body don't belong to nobody but your husband. See, this is why I teach my daughters now. Cover your body up. Why? Because you're going to bring life out of there. And that's something that's intimate. That's something that's private. That's something that's special. And everybody shouldn't have access to you because you're a treasure. But nobody never told her that. Nobody ever was able to speak something different to her than dysfunction and failure. So what did you expect her to do, y'all? I'm looking at her at 18. What do you expect her to do? He, in her mind, is a place of refuge. He's a cave to come run outside of the storms of life, never realizing she's running into another one. Except for it don't look like a storm. It's cute. It got some benefits there. It's got some incentives, you see? And for him, she's only 18. Oh, she finna go to college. She gonna be gone a lot. I can have my way with the kids or other females or other dudes. We don't know what this guy's on. To be honest with you. But no man in his right mind, 55 years old, gonna go after no 18-year-old talking about this is love and this is my wife and I'm finna wife her up. Nah. I don't see it. I'm sorry. You can paint it how you want, but I'm just not rocking with that type of vibe, man. I don't see it. And it's sad because we continue, and one thing I'll say about our people, black folk, so-called black folk, we don't talk about this stuff. We don't say nothing. We'll say, hey, shh, we don't talk about that, be quiet, if you bring it up at all. Yeah, so it's generations of trauma, generations of pedophilia and incest and these things happening that the children become the casualties. You see, because look, wherever the mama's at, because she said she left her mama house at 16, she been on her own. So maybe she got emancipated, I'm guessing. Maybe she got emancipated at 16 and then, rolled out. But you have 4 kids by 18, so that means before that, probably when she was 9 or 10, she was already getting violated, as many of us did. Out there dealing with the sex game and don't even know what it is, but we experienced and exposed to it. You see, and so I believe that's what happened with her. She's a product of her environment, literally. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can't, like I tell folk, you can't change what you're born into. You can't change who your parents are. You can't change that dynamic. But when you turn 18, I guess she figured, I'm gonna change you to marry a 55-year-old. Maybe that was her way of escape. I mean, I'm trying to find some level ground here. I'm trying to, you know what I mean? But I don't see it. It's one-sided, and it's in his favor. It's not favorable for her. She's not going to win. Only way she wins is if he have a fat insurance policy that's going to cover her up for some years when he gone. But from what I take, I believe he's the sole provider. She may work too, but I'm sure he got to be the breadwinner. She's only 18. So he's a breadwinner. So that means he's controlling the purse. He holding the strings. He's got the leverage. You see? And I believe that he was messing with her before this. I just do. I believe he was messing with her before this, and he just had to buy his time, hold out. He was on R. Kelly and Aaliyah all over again. That's all this is. R. Kelly and Aaliyah all over again. And R. Kelly, he told us what he went through growing up. But he never healed. He never was made whole. No matter how much he sing You Saved Me and all these songs, R. Kelly never got made whole. He was a wounded man singing beautiful notes and melodies that would make us cry and want to make us have kids off his music, but he was a broken and wounded man, scarred by the hands of those that were supposed to protect him, and they didn't. So what did he do? Carried on the madness. So you think when she's 55 and she see an 18-year-old dude, she ain't going to think that's cool? So now, the one that was preyed on, now she might become a predator one day. And the cycle continues. And then her daughters, her son. What you think they gonna think having a daddy, stepdad I guess, with the littlest one, I don't know if any of them are his, could be, who knows. What you think they gonna think their outlook is on a man? How you think their perception gonna be when it comes to a healthy dynamic relationship? What you think they gonna think about? Because the oldest one in the picture looked like she might be 9 or 10. The boy looked to be about 7. The other girl looked to be about 8. They look real close in age, honestly. And so what do you think the end game going to be after all this is said and done? With this 55-year-old dude has his way with this girl. When it's all said and done, whether he dies off or they split up. What you think the residual impact is going to be for the rest of her life? Because really, he done lived his. He's 55. He got 25 good years at best. At best. You see? That's in good health. Because by time, I mean, people still be healthy, but you get what I'm saying. We know we decline as we get older. So he ain't got, how many good years he got left? For her. That's what I'm saying. Where is the equity? Where is the equity? Because all I see right here is material gain and the natural things for her. I don't see the emotional protection. I don't see the mental protection. I don't see none of those things that she really needs the most. That's what she needs. Yeah, the house and cars is fine, but she can get that on her own. She really can. Because I know women that do that, been doing that for years. Ain't married or nothing, been just on their own doing their thing for years and getting it all on their own. Houses, cars, you name it. She don't need him for that. She don't. But because she grew up in an environment that was already wrecked, he was a saving grace to her. To the point where she defending this dude, I mean literally going off. Click in the comments and you can see her video. And she's going in. And she is willing to, whatever y'all on. Basically, that's what she was telling her. We together, I'm grown. And I'm looking like, no, honey, you're not grown because you can't even go buy a Corona. You can't even go buy a 211. Nah, you're not grown. You got to go have him go in the store for you. So basically, you're his daughter with benefits. If he was your goddaddy. Now, the godparent's supposed to be there in the place of the parent. If the parent gets sick, go down, understand how I've been told, the godparent steps in place of the parent. That don't mean you're going to marry her, bruh, if you're supposed to be her goddad. So you went from her godfather to her god husband. That's what we doing these days? God husbands now? We wait till the kid get old enough, God wives, that's what we going to do next? We gonna take the kids once they turn 18, we gonna go for them? That's what we gonna do? That's crazy. But he prepped her. He groomed her. He seasoned her. He marinated her. And he married her. Make it make sense, people. With that said, I'm getting out of here, man. But this is just, it's crazy.